Hello, this segment of the estate planning program has to do with probate and California probate law. This is the overview, not so much of the material, because we're not going to have a separate class, but there are assignments, and this particular segment is entirely as a home study outline and course. So there are several sections here in the probate area, probate law in California. The first part of the course that you should read, and we're making available to you the chapter in my book, which is the Comprehensive Estate Planning book, Don't Leave Earth Without It by Rex Crandell. Your material already includes the chapter for probate. And in the online material available to you, we have the 10 multiple choice questions that you'll need to answer for homework, and then submit that to the school with the required homework cover sheet, along with the document assignment for this unit. The document assignment for the probate section is for you to fill out certain probate forms that will be the essential forms if hypothetically you were creating a probate case in the Superior Court of California. And the purpose of it is not so much to make you an expert in probate forms, but they're forms that you could fill out should you ever come across a probate that you need to personally work on. And these forms, what the objective is we've made the Judicial Council forms available to you in the class materials. In addition, we've included some background instructions on each of the forms. Normally, the Judicial Council forms put out by the California Courts.gov for the state of California do not include instructions. It's not like income tax forms where you have a 1040, you go to the IRS instructions for 1040. There's no such analogy or comparison within the Judicial Council forms. And just so you know who the Judicial Council is, in California, we have the Supreme Court of California. Directly below California Supreme Court is the Judicial Council, and I've attended many of their meetings. And at the Judicial Council meetings, there's perhaps 40 participants. One of them is the presiding judge of the California Supreme Court, usually another judge from the California Supreme Court. And then there's a legislative representative from the state assembly, and then there's also another representative from the legislature. So, and a lot of the participants are either Superior Court judges or appellate court judges. And this group makes decisions on what forms, where to build courts. They have an administrative division called administrative offices of the court that takes care of a lot of the administrative functions. Back to the homework. The homework that you need to prepare are Judicial Council forms that have been indicated on the course outline. The forms are Judicial Council Form DE 111, DE 121, DE 140, DE 147, and then finally DE 150. And then after you have filled out all of the homework forms, send them to the school with the required homework cover sheet with your multiple choice answers and your filled out forms to the school for credit. We need to have all of the material submitted to us at one time for processing credit for the homework. If the subject of probate interests you, well, in doing the homework, I would suggest you be very active in filling out the forms as if it was a hypothetical decedent, and assuming that they've got over 84,500 of assets, which would require a probate. If you find out that you have sparked an interest in the area of probate, it's not part of this particular class, but you might consider getting the book from Nolo Press called How to Probate an Estate in California. It's very thorough, and it brings you through the probate process on a form by form basis, so that it holds your hand basically through the entire probate process, filling out the forms, instruction to the forms. Very useful form book. We get a new copy every couple years just to make sure that it's up to date. So that concludes the overview of the probate home study section of this certified estate planner program.